Okay, we have ping command running to observe network connection of the machine. What we need right now is to simulate network outage. We will do it using ifconfig command. So we want to use ifconfig to put down the loopback interface on my local machine. I will change here to a little bit more, and let's run it. It fails. So let's use our logs to realize why it has failed. Command not found. Why? If you know Linux system, you might realize ifconfig is a Unix command that requires root privileges. And right now I'm Molar user. So to be able to run ifconfig, you need to run it via sudo. So it should be sudo ifconfig loopback down. At Linux bash console, we can check it. I'm user Molar, and if I do ifconfig loopback to check what's there's no such command. However, if I do sudo, so that's the way you should run it. This is how you do it inside Linux bash console. Question is how we should do it inside the Molar Python library. And that's the topic of step 4. Here it is how we wrap ifconfig inside the sudo command. Once more, we create ifconfig object, but then we create sudo and sudo command object where one of its parameters is command object where we provide ifconfig created object. So we embed ifconfig inside the sudo command. The parameter password for sudo is a password not for the root but for the Molar, because this is the way how sudo works. You provide the password for the given user, and sudoers file check if the specific user is allowed to run given command. Okay, let's copy step 4 part and run it. Okay, we run it. Okay, no exceptions right now. And we go into the logs, and right now it's okay. We fire sudo, and it is visible command, and we have the bash prompt. Let's look into the ping, and yes, this is what we expected. There was 3-second ping, and then there was putting loopback down, so there is no ping answer. That's how we should use all the commands that require superuser privileges. To fully simulate such a few seconds network outage, we need to recreate a network connection. So once more, we will use ifconfig command. So after this 5 seconds, we will do ifconfig loopback up, and we will add few seconds of recreated ping. So we expect to have ping for 3 seconds, then no ping for 5 seconds, and once more 3 seconds of the ping. Okay, let's run it. Okay, let's look into the logs. Okay, we have loopback down and loopback up. Let's look into the ping logs, and okay, we do have recreated ping. However, here there is no ping at the beginning. Why? Because our test is not protected against wrong startup conditions. This shows weakness of this test, because in previous test we run loopback down and it is still down. So this is why when we restarted our test, it's still down. Okay. Now after test it is up. So if we because we have fired this loopback up, so if we run it this time, it should run correctly. Let's try. Right now it is okay. However, we need to fix our code to be protected against wrong startup condition. We will start from a little bit refactoring to differentiate this code. So here we have ifconfig down, and here we have ifconfig up. Okay. Oh, one more. Okay. And now what we need to protect this code for startup conditions is test setup that will ensure network is up before we start the test. And ensuring that network is up is nothing else but once more reusing ifconfig loopback up command. So we will reuse our existing code. It should be test setup, so it should be before ping. Okay. And we have duplication here, so let's remove this part. Okay. Let's just mark the sections. So here is run test, and here is test setup that ensures for running test. Okay, let's run it. And we have exception. Wrong usage. Sudo command is already done. Here it is. We try to run the sudo command that embeds ifconfig twice. And inside Molar, commands are one shot. After you run the command and you have the result, you can't run it twice. Why? Because we store the command result inside itself, and we don't want to overwrite the result of a command by next execution. So we need fresh sudo command to run. So that way. Okay, let's run it. Once more exception. This way different. Command failure. Not allowed to run again the embedded command. We have fresh sudo command. However, what we put inside is ifconfig command that was run by the sudo here. So this ifconfig up is done after this line, and we can't rerun rerun it here. So in the Muller, all the commands are one shot, either directly run like the sudo or embedded commands. You can't run them multiple times. So we need the fresh ifconfig command. And now let's run it. Now it's okay, no exception. Inside the ifconfig logs, we can see there is a precondition, the setup usage of ifconfig loopback up. Then there is a test simulating network outage via loopback down and loopback up. And inside the ping logs, we can see this and this. Okay, so now you should know that any command in Molar is one shot. If you need to run given command once more, you need to recreate it using this device get command factory method to create fresh instance.